Sabo is a trustee now. Was he fully embracive of working out this CETA?
All three of us are on
Okay,
board.
so, is this going to be some kind of referendum on Haws and Sabo?
I honestly don't believe so, and the reason I state that, Martin, being out door to door, it's one of those key things you have to do. The feedback we're getting from residents, whether it's calls, it's emails, it's face-to-face conversation, most folks are saying, hey, we appreciate you fighting, sticking up for the township. We really do need to preserve and protect. We want to collaborate, but it's got to make sense. So, when we're able to get in front of the folks and explain the meat and potatoes of it, like we did at our last trustees meeting, most folks are pretty understanding. I will tell you, I know there's one of the candidates out there that's obviously trying to use it from an opportunistic aspect. That
Which candidate is that?
Mr. Rich.
Okay.
But I think he's got some other things he needs to be more concerned about it.
You want to get a little more specific on that?
Well, you know what? We had a farmer's market that we've done the last 2 years. And a little over a year, well, it would have been fall last year, the Board of Trustees said, hey, we want to get the permit through the Division of Liquor Control to allow wine vendors to be able to come in so we can showcase them. Not selling open wine in the parks, but literally being able to come to there, grab a bottle of wine, take it home, enjoy it with your dinner. Well, the Division of Liquor Control called the township and said, hey, we were calling your township attorney, which by the way is Eric Williams.
Right.
Mr. Rich likes to tout himself as, a township attorney.
But he's a Stark County civil prosecutor, right?
Yes, correct. And my administrator was able to identify that those calls ended up at his desk, and it was Mr. Rich who failed to return the calls. And thus this year, this one's a small issue. And then, okay, hey, we had to shift gears and we weren't able to offer it like we were starting to promote. But Mr. Rich also, as I've been informed and provided some documentation, also was suspended for 4 days last month from work for abuse of power. Now, the level of detail that we're being provided outside of 4 days unpaid suspension, it's a little bit concerning from the aspect that you're going to abuse that power, but yet you want to be in a more prominent position of power and exploit that. And again, at the end of the day, as trustees in any township, we're essentially what I like to call, we're co-CEOs of a service delivery business. So how are those ethics and antics going to play in here? It's a fair concern, and the fact that somebody raised it to me, it wasn't me out digging around because I'm working my plan. I'll allow my record to stand for itself. Outside of the balanced budget, the collaborative projects we've done, on a personal basis, this isn't a requirement of the role, but what we've done with our Veterans Park, that was a special project that I had proposed when Trustee Giavasis was still on the board, that they adopted my vision to find a place in Plain Township to permanently memorialize the service and sacrifice of our veterans and so forth. So, that's my other, what I'd say, personal accomplishment that I'm proud of that's outside of the necessary business we have to take care of. And the fact of what, my wife's fully supported me in giving back to our community. We're paid a stipend for this position. Mm-hmm. I can tell you this year alone, we've already given back over $6,000 to the community, $2,500 to the Red Cross, $2,000 to, Veterans Flag projects. And every year since I've been in office, I've actually funded one, if not two, scholarships through the Plain Local Schools Alumni Foundation to graduating seniors. So, this isn't about politics. This isn't about money. It's taking care of the township's business, putting us in the best position moving forward while also giving back above and beyond.
Okay, well, do you see Mr. Rich as the main barrier to you and a fellow incumbent Sabo returning as township trustees?
Barrier, I don't know if I'd use that word. I mean, I know he's out there working. He's raised some money, but I also
and my impression correct is former trustee and now Stark County Clerk of Court behind his candidacy?
We've heard it from quite a few people, and just knowing campaign strategies and approach, I'm assuming it's safe to say that's
Yeah, I think.
probably pretty accurate.
Okay, I mean, I think I recall, maybe I'm mistaken, but I've been on Rich's Facebook page, and I think, if I recall correctly, Giavasis is on there as a supporter.
You know, I don't pay that close enough of attention between truly my full-time job, taking care of the township business, and then doing.
But you've heard it from other people.
Oh, I absolutely have, and I've seen it in circles, and I mean, he's definitely got the Lou Giavasis approach in some of his tactics. So,
Does that surprise you at all, a former fellow trustee?
no, it doesn't, not at all, because I think, Martin, over all the years that you've done the blogs, I know you've done quite a bit of writing on Mr. Giavasis, and some of them, hey, he's been the leader playing, he's keeping them at the forefront. But I think in the more recent years, even, you know, from what you've seen or perceived as being how political his nature is, it doesn't shock me. And, you know, the irony is, you know, Mr. Giavasis is behind Mr. Rich, and the first thing Mr. Giavasis did after getting elected clerk of courts is he's moved into the city of Canton. He's no longer a Plain Township resident, but yet he still wants to meddle in the Plain Township happenings.
And he says people are encouraging him to run for mayor of Canton. Now, if that happened, going full circle, maybe with Giavasis as mayor of Canton, that'd be good for Plain Township.
You know what? I don't know. I prefer not to comment on that.
Well, I couldn't resist.
Yeah. No,
You know
that's
me,
fair. I
and you know
absolutely-
how I write, so that was interesting. Well.